What is up, my mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, and in today's video we're going to be looking at 5 amazing fragrances that have gotten me compliments in the last few weeks. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into the video. Starting things off old school and refreshing, we're looking at Sonom by Alfred Song. This is the definition of a late 80s, early 90s, barbershop-y, ultra-masculine powerhouse. The fragrance itself will remind you of a bunch of other amazing scents from the time period. We're talking about Dracar Noir, Puig's Quorum, Bogart Pour Homme. It's just a laundry list of masculine fragrances. This is sort of like the Miami Vice of the fragrance world. It can be found on eBay for about 35 bucks Australian, and it is incredible. The thing about these old school style of scents is that I always get compliments for them, but whenever men smell it on me, they'll always say something like, I haven't smelled something like that in a few years. I'm just like, standing there, yeah, I know you haven't, because nobody wears this shit anymore. Everybody just wears fucking Pac Rabanne's 1 million. It's so boring. Stand out from the crowd, wear a classically masculine old school fragrance. And Sonom, it just has like an incredible, dated, but in a really positive way, bottle design. Just look at that, just looks great. So I recommend Sonom. It's actually an incredibly attractive fragrance. We've got those aromatics, we've got a touch of leather, a touch of that old school barbershop, clean spice. Check this one out. Next up from All Saints, we have Leather Skies. See you later. Leather Skies is a beautifully unisex fragrance, but I do think because of the leather and the spice here, it leans masculine. This I would consider a fresh leather spicy scent. The spice is on the fresher side. We're talking more like a summer spice rather than a heavy, dense, Middle Eastern saffron or something like that. It isn't too aromatic, it's just spicy and leathery, but it does, because of its lack of projection, it does come across as more of a summer scent. And I think that it's good that there are companies out there that are producing leathery fragrances that aren't so dense and heavy. They sit a little closer to the skin, they don't project so strongly, and you can wear something like this with 4 to 5 sprays and you're not going to stink out a room. This is one of those scents I always get complimented on, and I completely understand why. Leather, it just lends itself so well to a fragrance. The pricing for this one off of sale though, $125 Australian. If you go to Priceline, you can occasionally find these on sale for about 100 bucks, and I think that's more of a realistic price to pay for a fragrance like this. At $125, I would only recommend it for those people that absolutely adore the note of leather and are willing to experiment a little bit. So definitely check this one out. Speaking of leather, we have Johnny V, John Varvatos. Sometimes this is known as John Varvatos Heritage, and I actually got this on catch.com.au for like $25, and then I bought a backup bottle from Priceline on sale for 40 bucks. This is another leather fragrance, except it's a little fruitier, it's a little more appropriate for the colder weather. It's a little aromatic, you get that fruity, raspberry, almost fruit salad sweetness up top, and then in the base you've got that deep, dense, sensual, supple leather note. I sprayed this one on my hand earlier, I must admit. My god, it is sexy, and considering that you can still find a fragrance like this on sale for about $40 depending on where you shop, definitely check out eBay and online retailers. This is an easy recommendation. Again, I've got to smell it again. It is so attractive. I cannot emphasize enough how attractive this is. If you're somebody that wears a lot of black, you like your leather jackets, you like your dark jackets, and you consider yourself a bit more of a brooding, mysterious type of bloke, this is the fragrance that you're going to want in your collection. You could spend 250 bucks on like a Tom Ford ombre leather or something like that, or you can spend $40 on John Varvatos and still get a great brand. Performance is a bit of an issue. We're only getting about 6 hours of performance for this one, but if you're only paying 40 bucks for it, I consider it well worth it. And the fragrance itself, even though it doesn't last too long, it's still incredibly attractive. So check this one out. Now, I've got to include a versatile fragrance that still works in summertime, and this is Lagerfeld's Bois de Yuzu. This is an incredible fragrance for the summer heat, for the warmer weather, and I love Yuzu because it is a tart, sour, slightly sweet note, but it's not like a juvenile sweetness. And let's just appreciate the bottle design here for a second. It is a beautiful design bottle. This fragrance, that yuzu note, Japanese citrus, it is incredible. I can't express how classy and sophisticated this fragrance is. This is the definition of a suited and booted fragrance. Chuck on a suit, and if you're like on a budget, let's just say you spent all your money on an outfit but you still want an attractive, classy fragrance, 50 bucks Australian's gonna get you this. And I've seen these go for like $35 on eBay. Definitely check this one out, especially if it's a little warmer where you are, like if you're soaking up the Brisbane heat or the Sydney heat or something like that. This is just classy, dignified, mature, but it isn't stuffy mature. This is something that can be worn by anyone of any age. It is just a beautiful fragrance. This is a beautiful fragrance. Performance is solid at about 6 to 8 hours, depending on how many sprays. If you're looking for an alternative to this, if you can't find this, then I would recommend Issei Miyake's Yuzu scent. That's a little pricier on eBay, but you should still be able to find it for less than $100 Australian. So Bois de Yuzu, you're gonna get that yuzu, you're gonna get that slight bit of vetiver spice to it as well, that dry vetiver spice. It's a little aromatic, it's fresh, it's versatile, it's beautiful. And last but not least, we have Ode by Akakappa. This is a lesser known brand and it actually has the notes on the fragrance. Cumin, ginger, saffron, strawberry up top. Heart notes of rose, orris, carnation, cistus and olibanum. Base notes of oud, gaiac, wood cedar, wood sandalwood, patchouli and vetiver. Just straight away, like that's a pretty attractive lineup of notes right there. But how does it smell? Ode by Akakappa makes a great introduction to the oud note. This is a sweet, softer oud. It is still there, it is still prominent, but it's not used in that sort of heavy, dense Middle Eastern way. This is more of a like vibrant, almost fresh Italian zest sort of way, if that makes sense to you. You do get that sweetness from the strawberry, you get that sort of dry dustiness from the orris. And then the oud in the background, just lifting things, giving things warmth and heat. This is a beautiful unisex fragrance, and something like this is a signature scent. And by that I mean, this is something that you can buy a couple of bottles of and just wear this, and you can make this your personal individual scent. Nobody's gonna be wearing this, and that's their loss because it is a beautiful fragrance. Performance is about 12 hours with 3 sprays. It is a very performative fragrance. Pricing though, as it is a little harder to find, you're gonna be paying a little bit more for it. So check eBay, check your online retailers. This is worth hunting down and paying a little bit of money for. I probably wouldn't spend anything over 150 on it, but if it's a bigger bottle, maybe 150 is gonna be justifiable. It is a beautiful fragrance, it is unique, and it is definitely a more versatile oud style of fragrance. So check out Ode by Akakappa. It is very attractive. It's also unisex as well. So let me know in the comments below what your 5 most complimented fragrances are of the last couple of weeks. I can't wait to hear from you guys, and until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.